Hey guys, and welcome back to the Jays with M podcast. As we all know, the Pittsburgh series has all wrapped up. Now we're going to talk about that on this episode. Jays took 2 out of 3. I was really hoping they could go for the sweep. Unfortunately, a lot happened today, and I don't even blame them for that loss. Today was interesting to say the least. I didn't even get to watch the game, but I was watching the recap and reading about it, and it was crazy. But to kick us off, we are going to dive in with Friday night's game. The final was 6-2 Blue Jays, but how we got there was absolutely crazy. There's some good moments, not so good. A little nerve-wracking moments was Gosman, couple guys on. Top of the first, only allowed 1 run in though. Love Gauzy, especially when there's that situation. He always seems to deal with it very well. And I don't worry about him with a couple guys on and nobody out. Or only 1 out, I do not worry. Some of the other guys that do. And y'all know who those are. Maybe Hoffman and some of them. Some of the relievers. Rodriguez. Some of those guys stress me out. Gosman after that locked in. Second, strikeout, single, whatever. Strikeout, fly out. Clean inning. Pretty good. The Jays were not having a good time. Other than Clement was getting on. A couple errors, walks. Just couldn't bring anybody in. That's until the bottom of the third, where Springer reached on catcher's interference. Vladdy hit a single, which it seems like that's all he's really doing right now, which, whatever, he's getting on base. Varsho hit into would have been a force out, except the first baseman just threw to third base, and it went, completely, throwing error. And Varsho ended up at second, Vladdy at third, Springer scores. Tie game, beautiful. Okamoto striked out. That was painful. I want Okamoto to do so well, and I know he's one big hit away from finding his swing again, and I know it's there. And then Pinango doubles, so both of those guys score. Jays are now up 3-2. Top of the fourth, Gosman's doing well. Strikeout, line out, fly out. And the bottom of the fourth for us. This one made me laugh. Strikeout. Both teams were up, down, up until the top of the 7th. So Gosman came back out for the 7th inning. Gave up a single, and then a ground out. And then gave up another ground out. So nobody had scored on any of those thanks to Vladdy's heads-up play. I don't want to say chased on it back to third, but he acted like he was going to throw over so the runner wouldn't go home. Mason Fluharty comes in, throws 1 pitch, ends the inning. Gosman's obviously done for the day. Bottom of 7th, Springer walked. A great Springer, I feel like, is taking much better at bats. Springer walked. Ultimately, we couldn't do anything. Nobody scored. Top of the 8th is where it gets a lot more nerve-wracking. Of course, late innings with this team. What's with that? Brandon Lau walks. Nikonzilla singles to left field. There's nobody out. So they pull Mason Fluharty. Varland comes in. They're asking for basically 6 outs at this point, is what I'm thinking. First guy, he gets a ground out, whatever, give up a run. I don't even care. You're out, concede the run, whatever. Still up by 1. He gets a guy, strikes out, swinging in the ground out. Perfect. You know what? He technically, that run would have been charged to Fluharty because he's the reason he was on base. Whatever, clean inning, who cares? Bottom of the 8th, Ernie double, Sanchez double, Venezuela walk. Ultimately, they did get Jimenez strikeout. Springer doubles. It would have been a triple. Get a trauma warning. The ball bounced and got lodged up in the fence by the Heinz Club. Seriously, I don't think I can do that again. It's the World Series all fucking over. I don't understand why we're having issues with that, but it's horrible. Vladdy grounds out, which was painful to watch, and then Varsho strikes out. Whatever, 6-2 Blue Jays, 4-run lead. Assuming Varland's not coming back out, well, unbeknownst to us, he did. Varland, top of the 9th, strikes him out swinging, called out and strikes, and then a ground out to win the game. So, great game overall. Yeah, the offense lost some innings, but innings were good, and there's guys getting on almost every inning. So, I think one of the funniest part to me was John Snyder's post-game interview. They only wanted Varland for the 8th, just to get them to the 9th, and Varland walked into the dugout and said, "This game is mine, I want the 9th inning. You're not pulling me." And then he was incredible. I was really happy with this game. They're a great game overall. City Connect, they did a bunch. It was the Bautista and Edwin night. Edwin and Bautista were around hyping the crowd up. It was like a really good game. And I was really happy with the offense. There's a lot of good at-bats. Like, it honestly felt like they were taking a lot not closer pitches, but not swinging at as many balls as we've seen in pitches outside of the zone. It felt like they were really taking their time, and I found it as a positive sign. Game 2. Now, if you remember me saying on the pod last week's, the kind of preview, the last episode preview into Pittsburgh, I had said my kind of biggest game worry was the Paul Skeens game. Well, that the team decided to prove me wrong and say, no, you're wrong. So I'm just gonna start this off. Top of the first. Great job by Patrick Corbin. Great top of the first. Springer, third pitch of the game. It was the third fastball he's seen, hits a home run. And like when I tell you that home run was gone, it was gone. It was a great home run. Dan's call on that for me is everything. It was a great call. Varsho walks, ground out. Piñango is on fucking fire. He hits a double. Ultimately, Varsho did not score. Oh, yeah, Vladdy grounded out, and Varsho was out at second. So there's a double play there. I knew I wanted to look at Varsho not score. That's why. But no, absolutely, I felt like a beast of a home run. And to get to Skeens in the first inning, to me, was like, because I had said on the preview for the Pittsburgh series, if you can get to Skeens, I think we can win. If we don't, we're not going to win it. That's exactly what I said. And I felt pretty good after that top of the first home run. Corbin's absolutely dealing, like, top of the third, out, not even allowing it hit. I think, the first hit he allowed a couple in the top of the second and then got out of it. Top of the fourth, whatever, up, down. Bottom of the fifth, up, down. He pitched, I don't remember when he got pulled. But still, top of the sixth, I believe, is when he did. Because Pittsburgh tied the game, whatever. Skeens was knocked out after the fifth. So Patrick Corbin pitched a full inning longer than him. Well, bottom of the sixth, first inning without Skeens, Vladdy singles, Piñango singles, Sanchez doubles, Ernie singles, and Andres Jimenez grounds out. Jays are now up 4-1. Which is exactly what I said. If you can get to Skeens, you're going to get this team. And they did. It's exactly what they did. And I was really happy with them. Bottom of the seventh, whatever, chill. I'm happy that we're up. The biggest shock of that game for me was Tyler Heineman hitting a home run. And, it was gone off the bat. It was a nice home run. I was absolutely shook. Because, out of anyone on the team, I would never have said him. And, I was live talking with my community in my chat. And all of us were like, so we can't say anything negative about the dude now. I had a couple people come in and be like, so are we not allowed to talk negative about Heineman? And I'm like, no, we're not. Because, you can't say anything negative when the dude, hits a home run after struggling. And he needed that. I'm not even going to lie. Heineman needed that. And he needed to prove to the fan base of why he is the backup catcher. And why he's in the majors. Because I feel like that will hopefully help him get going. But I don't know. It's Heineman. Heineman's always been very streaky. Because I know he's been off and on the Jays, the last, I feel 4 years. He's comes, goes, comes back, goes. So I'm kind of hoping that'll maybe help him hit better and do better on the days he's not catching. But honestly, I don't know. Top of the 8th, Pittsburgh scores again. Whatever. They're still up 5-2. Top of the 9th, I was a little scared. Hoffman comes in. And I still worry. I'm not doubting Hoffman at all. I know Hoffman's a really good closer, and I've said before, especially last week's episode when we talked about him closing one of the games in New York. Was it? Yeah, one of the games in New York. If he can keep his confidence there and keep his confidence up and continue to locate, he is the closer we know him for. Hoffman came in and struck out the side to get the save, which I found was absolutely incredible, and I couldn't believe he had. But no, I feel like that Hoffman being able to come in and do that to give Varland the day off, especially pitching 6 outs the night before, really helps the bullpen and the team, and I think is going to help his confidence on a full another level. and really overall bring that whole confidence of the team up, because this is what the team does. They go out there, they score runs, and the bullpen holds on to the game, because it's exactly what happened. Corbin had a fantastic outing. The bullpen came in to do the last 3 innings, and they did incredible. They only allowed 1 run, and that, like, the 1 run was on a ground out after they gave up 2 walks. So, like, that's the reality. But, like, if our team can help grow its confidence they had last year, especially Hoffman, even be better, I honestly don't see why we're out of the race for the division. And I know, yes, the Yankees are doing good. The Rays are doing good. We're still 3rd. And the last I looked, we were in a wild card spot, and that was before the loss. It's Sunday when I'm filming this, so before the loss today. And I don't see why everyone's saying the season's over, and I don't get it. And that's, like, my biggest pet peeve when people say that, because it's not over. It's not over until September. That's when the season ends. So, yeah, jumping into today's game. Cease. I don't know what happened today, but it sucked. Spencer Horwitz hit a first pitch home run, which I was shocked by, and it sucked. And, like, Varsha's batting second, which I really like, because I'm a huge Varsha fan. Love that. Varsha bottom first, single, Vladdy walks, and of course Piñango, like the one time he does not get it, he grounded out and into a double play, which it sucks. That's the reality of it. It does suck, but that's what's gonna happen. Top of the second, O'Neill Cruz hits a home run. Like, seriously, like, I don't know what it's with Cease in his last 2 starts and giving up home runs. Like, I know, like, nobody was on base, luckily, but it's a little frustrating, because clearly either he tweaked something, he's not locating what he wants, but I understand he is definitely frustrated, because he was so good as other starts, and then, like, his last 2 have not been so great. The one in New York with 5 runs, and then today's. And then we get into bottom second. Okamoto double. This is what I mean when I was saying Okamoto needed that 1 hit. I'm really hoping this double is what is going to help him get going and make him help contributing back to the lineup and join, like, Varsho, Clement. Jimenez has been like, help Jimenez out, Piñango, all those guys, and really join in on them. He had a cleaner top of the 3rd, with only giving up a single. Bottom of the 3rd, 3 up, 3 down for us. Top of the 4th is 3 up, 3 down, which is exactly what we wanted from Cease. Bottom of the 4th, Vladdy walks, Piñango singles. Ultimately, Okamoto flies out. Ernie singles. Not only down by 1. Perfect. Maybe this team is going to come back and be like the 2025 comeback team all again. Which is, I know they can do it. They just got to get their mojo right. And top of the 5th rolls around. Couple singles, walks. Couple singles, walks. That's the reality. It sucks. Luckily, though, nobody scored. No, nobody scored. Also, though, what happened, though, unfortunately, in the top of the 5th, I'm checking my sources. Yeah, in the 5th inning, Cease gets pulled for an apparent injury. We don't know what. We're going to talk about that at the end, because it gets better. It gets better. It was crash out there online for Jays fans. That's all I'm going to say. Bottom of the 5th, Venezuela walks. Fly out. Vladdy gets hit by a pitch on the elbow. Dude walks, takes second, walks past Snyder, the trainer, and goes right into the dugout. Nothing. So now we're all panicking because it's Vladdy. And when Vladdy gets hit by a pitch, like, normally, like, yeah, he reacts, but he doesn't react. Is basically, he just walked. He walked himself out of the game. Didn't talk to the manager, the trainer, nothing. Just walked. So now, Cease just left the game in the top half. Vladdy looks hurt and looks like he broke his elbow. And we have the tying run on base. It's a lovely day. Like, lovely day to be a Jays fan. And who knows what, like, people are panicking. Well, of course, so top of the 6th, would have been Fluharty pitching, I believe, at this point. I was not watching. I don't remember fully. I think that this was Fluharty. walk home run, we're now down 4-1. And honestly, like, if I was watching at this point, I feel like our team would have been killed. You just watched 2 guys leave injured, and I could not imagine how frustrating the team would have felt and how affected this would have made them, because, like, bottom of the 6th, 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the 7th, we actually had 1 hit, a double, a walk, and then a ground out. It's still just frustrating. You could definitely tell, like, even reading this, there's probably some frustrating at-bats near the end. Like, even the bottom of the 9th, Jimenez hit by a pitch, a walk, and then, like, just couldn't get it going. And I feel like, honestly, probably what did not help was Cease leaving hurt and Vladdy. Yeah, but other than that, I'm really happy with how the series went. Like, it could have gone a whole lot worse. We could have been swept for all I care. We could have lost the series, but no. We are doing really well, actually, and I'm very happy with how the series was played. Other than maybe so much this game, but I kind of give them a pass just with what happened with Cease and Vladdy. And, like, knowing that now some of these guys are down tomorrow. Like, there's no way Flu Hardy is pitching Monday. But, yeah, to kind of get into injury updates, especially around Vladdy and obviously Cease, because that's what people are definitely wanting to know about. So Vladdy got hit on the nerve. So Vladdy went x-rays, negative, not broken, that's fine. So I guess where he got hit on his elbow, it kind of hit a nerve, so his entire arm went numb, and I think they said 3 of his fingers. So it kind of freaked him out, so he just walked off because he was freaking out and he thought his season was done. And he feels like now that he knows, he kind of feels better. So Dylan Cease, minor hamstring, like tight hamstring is what they're saying, I believe. Yeah, mild left hamstring discomfort. Whatever. They are sending him for an MRI as a precaution. But Dylan Cease has already told John Snyder he wants to make his next start. So, and Vladdy said they'll see how he feels tomorrow, if he gets to play or not. So there's a good chance he'll even play on Monday, which is the day this is releasing, so today. But honestly, like, I think this is like arguably the best news this team could have gotten. Like, we could have been down another starter and our basically one of our most team players ever, because Vladdy supports everyone. That team supports him. That's what the Jays, like the 2025 Jays, aside from like Springer, Clement, it's Vladdy. Vladdy's basically like the new Bautista of the team. That's like the new Bautista, Edwin, those guys. That's what I feel like Vladdy kind of reminds me of, is those guys and how well they're known. So I honestly feel like we dodged a huge bullet on the Vladdy and Cease, and it could have been so much worse. Like, Vladdy could have broken his elbow. Boom. That's immediately 60-day IL kind of shit. Like, nothing would. I think the team would be lost. See, like, that's another thing. I think we have no chance at the playoffs if we lost Vladdy and Cease, and that's just the reality of us having too many injuries to sustain like the team. Also, though, so yeah, the Jays will currently be playing the Miami Marlins for the next 3 games. So Monday, which is today, Tuesday, and an afternoon game Wednesday. I don't know how this series is going to go, like, looking at the pitchers. So game 1, we have Savage versus Jay Jung. Jay Jung's ERA is over 5, but over in 55 innings. Savage's ERA is 1.07 in 25. So, and like, Jung has pitched 5 more games than Savage actually has. So I don't actually know like how this is gonna go. Oh, looking at Jung's last 5 games, he's 2-3 for wins and losses. So the last game, wow, he got a win against the Dodgers. He went 6 innings, only had 3 hits, no runs. Okay, well, that's chill. The game he lost was against the Phillies. He went 5.1 innings. Gave up 5 hits and 1 earned run and 1 run. Okay. Got the win here, but he gave up 4 earned. This one, they played the Rays. They lost. He gave up in 5.2 innings, 10 hits and 7 runs. And then in his last start on the 20th, he gave up 8 hits and 8 runs. That's it, like, Jesus. I don't know. And he didn't give up a walk, though. So, I don't know, like, it's just really been, like, those last 3 starts that have been bad for him. But I feel like if he establishes on his game, and I'm going to say this, like, again, and we can get to junk, we just need to have pitching on our game, and I think we will be okay. Like, that's honestly one of the games I'm not too worried about, because I feel pretty confident. I know Miami just swept the Mets, but I don't care. That's the Mets. The Mets are, like, the worst team in baseball this year, by far, anyway. They're worse than Oakland. Game 2, no pitchers are listed for either team. It sounds like, for us Jays... Okay. It kind of sounds like it'll be either, like, Fish start and then Miles do the bulk. Or Miles start, go many innings, couple guys come in after. So it'll be Miles in some way, shape, or form, like how the last couple of starts, bullpen game. Miami Marlins have no one listed. It's to be determined. So I have no idea. I don't know how Game 2 is going to go. Game 3 is Gausman. Which I get to watch Gausman. I love fucking watching Gausman pitch. He's my favorite. So Gausman is going to face Yervi Perez. I'm so sorry, I just totally butchered that name. And he is 3-6 on the season. Gausman's 4-3. His ERA is 4.91 over 58 innings, with 2 more strikeouts than Gausman has at 63. Both have played 11 games. Gausman's ERA is 3.23 though, and over 64 innings. So he's pitched about 6 innings longer than him. And Gausman's whip is significantly lower. But looking over Perez's last couple starts, so in his last 4 starts, he's 1-4. So other than, like, the only one he's won recently was against the Mets. The one in the Phillies went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, got the loss. One against Baltimore, went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 5 runs, got the loss. Lost to the Twins. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs. Lost to the Rays, which I feel like I saw this. 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned. Beat the Mets, went 6.1, give up 2 hits and 1 earned run. But honestly, I don't feel like the Mets are very, like, plausible, like, to look at there, because I feel like every time I read, they're being swept. So I feel like Gausman's on his game. I'm going to say it, if we can get to him early, we're going to get to him. That's what, like, I read by those numbers. You got to get to him and knock him out before the 5th inning. Because it kind of seems like his pitch counts are at, like, 80 or higher. Somewhere in the 90s, over 100. So, but I honestly feel like, I feel pretty confident that if we can get to the Marlins starters, our starters are pitching like how they have been pitching, we have a pretty good chance of winning at least 2 out of 3 of these, even maybe sweeping the team, which I think if we can get this sweep, it will be a huge booster for everyone and will, like, get the team really going, which is what we need. I really want them to get going. I love this team. And I really believe they can play better than this. They have been. Don't get me wrong, they have been. And I hope they continue to. Alrighty. Now, jumping into our injury updates. Obviously, we went over the Cease and Vladdy. Following our guys who are currently in Florida. Shane Bieber is scheduled to begin a rehab assignment Monday, so today, throwing 2 innings for the Florida Complex League. The Blue Jays, he'll build up volume from there, shooting for 3 innings his next time out. Pretty good. So we won't hear any more about Bieber until probably Tuesday or even Wednesday and how it went and how the build-up's going to go, but I want to say he's only going to be a couple weeks out. Like I say, they'll probably get him up and then they'll just keep building him up through the majors, and hopefully he goes from 3 to 5 to up in Buffalo. Crossing my fingers because we could really use another starter right now. Nathan Lukes had an off day Friday, didn't play. He played Saturday and Sunday in Dunedin. I didn't see anything about him playing. Like, I didn't see anything. I haven't read anything about how well he did. He'll be in Toronto today to see if he's ready to be activated. If they don't feel he's ready, he will play at least another game or two down in AAA this week. So, pretty confident. I could be posting this podcast, and by the time like 3-4 o'clock rolls around while I'm waiting to get that bobblehead at the game, Nathan Lucas could be back. And I'm going to touch on that. That's a little bit more. Yumi Garcia threw a bullpen around 30 pitches Friday. Garcia threw 2 ups to help build volume and the intensity of the goal of facing hitters. Garcia was like in games and I was not, which is frustrating for me. So Kirk is in Toronto. He still is, actually. And to check in with the Blue Jay staff and to continue ramping up his hitting. He'll be catching bullpens and live BPs like he's been. There's a video today of him throwing, doing a little bit of catching. It's really nice to see Kirk being filmed by reporters again, and I absolutely miss him. So Kirk's progression from in Toronto will be hitting off the machines, then live pitches, and then into minor league games. He is currently ready to catch in games. If all goes well this weekend, it's possible Kirk begins a rehab assignment late this week. So that's all really good news. Like, we could find out today, like Monday, when after this podcast is up, that Kirk could be into games by like Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, and he could be in Buffalo or Dunedin. I think they'll send him to Buffalo just because it's right there, and I think that's where they'll probably get him. But could you imagine, like, Kirk's coming back, Nathan Lucas is back. There was no Barger update, unfortunately. I wish I had one for you guys, but I don't. But I do have one comment to make, though. So everyone keeps asking, so when Nathan Lucas comes back, somebody is going down. It is not going to be Pinyango. And I know they make the case, and I know Snyder made a comment because Dan was talking about it. Yes, there's the thing about like being a balanced lineup, but sometimes you got to go with the guys who are currently contributing. So if that means having one more lefty than righties, I support Pinyango staying up over Davis or Sosa. I honestly think if Nathan Lucas comes back today, Davis or Sosa will be going down. And I love Davis, but he's just like, even like, I know he's not getting into games a lot, but even when he is getting into games, and it's been like, I want to see him every game or so, he's not doing anything. And like Pinyango is, and Pinyango is doing well up here. Why send him down and keep guys that are struggling when maybe they can send them down there and they'll get more at bats and can come back better than ever? So I honestly feel like keeping Sosa and Davis up here is not the smartest choice. If I had to choose to send somebody down, it'd be Sosa. Davis has a lot more, I want to say, fan recognition, and Sosa has been so much worse. And I don't like to hate on players, but it's frankly true. I don't even know. I think Sosa's had I feel like 3 hits the entire time he's been in Toronto. But yeah, it's definitely been an interesting injuries issues and all that. So, but yeah, we're still in this. I don't give up. I don't care. You guys are battling back, and I feel like this team, by the end of June, I honestly think I just forgot his name. Bieber will be back. Kirk will be back. Hopefully Barger. I know Nathan will be back. I don't know about Garcia. Kirk will be by the end of June, I think all of our key guys are going to be back and go on a run. But anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode podcast. The next one you guys can expect will be after this series with the Marlins wraps up. And we'll also be diving into the Orioles series, which I cannot wait to do. I'm really liking doing them this way. Obviously, I will bring you guys another injury update then, and whatever other big news happens. Thank you all for listening. I hope you all enjoy. Let's go Blue Jays. Have a good rest of your day.